Hey everybody, hi. I'm Ray, and this is my co-founder,
Arthur.
and best friend Arthur Schaback. I met this guy 6-7 years ago
2014.
in New York City at our very first Bitcoin meetup ever, and it became a fast friendship, and now we're married. I've been married to this sexy bastard for 7 years now, and I have a wife, and it's a constant battle between Paxful and everything else in
Attention,
your life.
about attention, yeah.
So we've been in the startup for like, it's been almost 5 years now,
five,
but I've
six,
known
yeah.
him for almost 7 years. And Paxful has changed our lives in so many ways, right? We have a team of 250 people right now, and it's growing fast. We grew 4x last year in the middle of the Bitcoin winter. Peer-to-peer finance was booming, and that's really what we come to talk to you guys about tonight, is peer-to-peer finance. Our company is really one of the many companies that are doing peer-to-peer finance. Every company here, especially the last one, is peer-to-peer finance. Bitcoin is peer-to-peer electronic cash. For the first time ever, we've gotten this miracle. It's an amazing, it's an invention, right? So why is it great, Artur? Why is peer-to-peer finance so awesome? What do you think that's so awesome about it, man? We're just freestyling, guys.
It's about the people, that's what it is. If it wasn't about the people, there wouldn't be anybody using that awesome technology. So we're gonna tell about it with the slides, you know. You'll understand it better. Can we get slides?
Yeah, well,
Slides,
I don't know if we can
please.
get slides or not, but we don't need those stinking slides, man.
Yeah, who cares?
We got love here, man. It's love for people that makes this work, right? Paxful is Uber for money. And it doesn't work if there are no drivers. It's the people that power the network. It's that human layer that forms on top of the Bitcoin blockchain that becomes that, it's a second miracle. Just as big a miracle as Bitcoin, and everyone in this room is evidence of that tonight, and the enthusiasm in your hearts to come here and be a part of this, that is also evidence of that. This is now a social movement. So what we do is we naturally take all that energy and we turn it into actual transactions, into actual business. It's a beautiful thing. Those people start winning, and those people start making money. There are people on Paxful who have built their own little versions of Western Union, focus on specific corridors, say migrant immigrant workers from Nigeria living in South Africa trying to send money back home. How do they do that? How can you help them solve that problem better? We are creating a whole generation of entrepreneurs, masterminds of peer-to-peer finance. We just met one tonight. He's right back there. Homeboy Ryan, what's up, homie?
What's up?
This guy is brilliant, and he was teaching me tonight, this guy, this American, was teaching me about business banking in Africa and the specialties of working, say, within the Zimbabwean system. Then he taught me the same thing about Korea, and how one of his first big trade routes was figuring out an amazing arbitrage opportunity in Asia, and he saw it and he said, wait a minute, will this work? And when he tried it, it worked. And our experience is very similar to his. It was me and Artur, we met when we went to our first Bitcoin meetup, but we really became close when we kind of fell on some real hard times. You know, me and him ended up homeless for a little while in New York, and that's really, as hard as running a startup is, for you to kind of be like surfing couches if you're lucky and be at that place where you just like, you ran out of runway, right? That brings two people together. But as of right now, Paxful is doing great. We haven't gotten a penny in VC funding, and we haven't talked to VC. Have we engaged one VC from all of them that have come to us? Like any serious conversation?
They just come to us, you know, it doesn't matter now.
Yeah. So we might take money in the future, but the point is, Paxful is profitable because it's based on real use cases. That's it.
So the use cases, right? Again, if we can get some slides.
Man, there's no hope of slides tonight, for God's sakes.
Ask twice, I will ask third time as
Where's
well.
IT, for God's sakes?
IT is
All right,
a black hole.
we're gonna do something with.
So what is Paxful? You know what is local Bitcoins? Who knows what is local Bitcoins? Okay, half people. What is Paxful? Paxful is local Bitcoins. Local Bitcoins is Paxful. Yes, it is. And we're almost number one. We're like in a lot of countries, we're number one already. In some of the countries like Latin America, local Bitcoin is still first, but they're losing ground. They're not our real competitors anymore. The real competitors now are the exchanges who execute really well, like Binance. They're doing peer-to-peer, whatever, their Vietnam thing, right? And the next competitors would be the mainstream fintech applications like TransferWise, Revolut. These are going to be our next competitors in 2021. So, 6 use cases that Ray been telling about. Basically, you can do with Bitcoin day-to-day things. It's not just trading on exchanges. It's more than that. And we watched our users, what they're doing. We didn't have to invent anything ourselves. We just watched them, what they're doing, and that's amazing, what they're doing. Like use cases, the trade routes, Korea, US, Europe, Africa. So we categorize them into 6 major use cases, which would be...
The clicker, please.
The first one, like any new technology, which starts with what? What do you do with the new technology? What was the first killer app of Bitcoin? More specific? Yes, darknet, the gray markets. Like with internet, the first internet purchase was weed, $25 worth of marijuana. Same with Bitcoin. It is still the killer app. And with any new technology, it's the gray markets, right? That starts with them. It's basically payments in high risk or the gray markets, whatever. So that's the first use case. It's still there. The second use case.
Apparently, I don't know where yours is. Okay, all right, no problem.
So
no slides tonight,
no slides.
Can I forward commando tonight? No slides. No slides.
No slides. Second use case.
Do you have your slides on a USB?
No, it's in my phone. It's here, Google Slides. Can I share with you? Can I do airdrop?
On HDMI?
But we'll save the children.
Yeah, airdrop.
You needed to tell me that to put them on. We have other presentations on, but not yours.
Can we do this?
You guys psyched me about these use cases, man. This is everything that we've learned from the African people, especially for the past 5 years. Yeah, please, man, keep them coming, brother. I've been waiting to hear from you all night, sir. The ginger. You can't trust the ginger.
Can you do this?
Email it to somebody.
Brian, you here? Can we get slides?
This guy's trying to ask a question. They're yelling about.
Yeah, next question, please.
Could you repeat that again, please?
No, I mean this is live stream, and you admit that you're enabling green markets. Isn't that a risk for you?
Well, we're not enabling green markets.
It's in general the use cases of Bitcoin.
Right. Okay. Not Paxful.
No, it's just general, right? Anybody can start doing that with Bitcoin, but that's like any new technology starts. So first is the gray markets. Second, speculation and the trading. So 95% in Bitcoin is about trading your Bitcoin against shitcoins or whatever else is around it.
Yeah, Paxful doesn't do any real speculation either. Paxful is not the place to speculate. Paxful is more of a place for utility. So this is more about the industry at large. We're currently in a phase where, like, how much would you say of the industry volume is powered by just speculation, manipulation?
Well, the thing is that there's like real speculation and there's this fake trade volume, which is what, 90%, the recent survey, so that's a lot.
So yeah, I would say speculation is like 90%, and then most of it is fake too, so that's 2 hard hits right there. That creates a very toxic situation.
Email your presentation to Brian.
Speculation is always toxic. There's a reason why religions
Brian.
forbid it and civilizations bring it down. So that's currently where we're at. Not the best news, but there is a happy ending, a silver lining to this story. And there's something pretty awesome happening right now. What would the third use case be, my good man?
So we told 2 use cases, right? Which are not cool for us and we don't really like them. Next one is payments. Simple payments, right? We are here in Europe, Western world, we have really good banking service. We can do the international payments, whatever, but guys in China, guys in Africa, they have limitations to do international payments. Why? It's not because of the government is limiting them. It's because of the government, it doesn't have enough US reserves. So in Nigeria, you can do $200 a month, US dollars, payments to China to buy some electronics. Instead of that, what can you do with Bitcoin? You buy Bitcoin, you send Bitcoin to your Chinese friend, he buys for you electronics, he imports the stuff back to your country. So that's how you can restore the importing power in your country, by using Bitcoin, doing the cross-border payments. Any questions? Comments?
For example, in Argentina, there's no limit to buy any foreign currency or cryptocurrency to $100 a month.
Right, so
But it doesn't work.
it's not because the country doesn't want you to do it. Like in China, country doesn't want you to do this, the cross-border payments, but other countries, they want you to do this, but they don't have enough reserve currency in their reserves to cover this international payments, which is...
Do you mean because there's a ban or a limit on domestic capital controls, it doesn't enable you to get enough Bitcoin for it to be an actual utility?
Yes.
Okay, great question. With what payment method? And that's the question we always have to ask in this business. What payment method are you using? Because depending if it's a bank transfer, PayPal, cash, gold, whatever payment method is, it changes the rules.
Oxo, Mercado Pago, the online wallets.
Is it?
Yeah, well, basically anything above $200 is illegal.
It's illegal, but if you are doing trades like on, say you're just doing 2 private bank trades between people, like a corporation and a person or 2 people, and you don't declare what you're doing, like you could say, hey, here's an invoice. He's just paying me for some services or whatever it might be for, technical services, right? It's not illegal what you're doing, right? It's a perfectly legitimate transaction. You can do things like that.
I don't think so. Isn't Paxful just supplying an illegal method of acquiring
No.
Bitcoin in Argentina?
It's letting 2 people, because we don't touch any pesos. We don't deal with any of that. We're just getting 2 people that have a problem they want to solve. For example, someone, say in Africa, right? They want to get money sent home to them from, say, their relatives in the United States or in Germany, right? Right now in Germany, if you want to send money back home, you will pay about 25% to send it to Kenya, right? And it takes like 2 days because your mother has to go to the office of Western Union, sit there, wait, pick up the money. It's a huge pain, right? So what I did was I showed my friend Vicky. She's from Kenya, but she's living in Berlin.
He has a German friend has a girlfriend from Kenya.
Exactly, yeah. These are friends of mine up in Berlin, right? One is from Kenya. So I told her, does your sister, who you send money to, does she have, how do you send her the money? And she said, oh, I send it to her Western Union. I said, how else can she get money? She said, well, there's a network there called M-Pesa. It's like their own little version of PayPal. I thought, okay.
95% of people in Kenya have M-Pesa, but only 65% have bank accounts. So the mobile payments are huge in Africa.
Exactly, and they're just getting started. So what I do is I asked her for her sister's M-Pesa number, and I started a trade on Paxful for a guy in Mombasa in Kenya, and he wants my Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is hard to get in Africa. He knows if he gets it, he can sell it for up to 10, maybe sometimes 20% premium, right? So he's happy to give me the market price for the Bitcoin, right? And so, or even a little more. I think I got a little more in this transaction. I sent 100 euros, and her sister got 101 euros in Kenyan shillings to her M-Pesa in less than 13 minutes. It might have even been happening faster, but her sister really texted her from Nairobi and said, hey, I just got the money. How'd you do that? And she could spend it right away on her M-Pesa. And that's the power of it. Is that illegal? There's no real other way to send money to Kenya other than that Western Union. So that is not a sanctioned way to do it, but it's literally the most innocent thing in the world. It's someone just sending money to your sister via PayPal just for, to keep her going, and you're paying them in some other way. That's all it is. Sound kosher enough for you? I got you, my man. I got you. Bro, you let me off the hook this one? You feel good about this one? You'll get me later. You Dutch, man. I know you guys are now.
5 minutes. Oh, shit. We have 3 more cases.
Man, people love us, man. You can't get rid of us tonight, man.
Yours 15.
This guy's got a genius question, man.
5 minutes.
All right.
E-commerce, man.
E-commerce, yeah. What about it, man? What are we doing with e-commerce?
Example.
We got some slides. Finally, look at these beautiful slides. Holy moly, better late than never. Look, we got here e-commerce. Wow, that's beautiful.
Thank you, Brian.
Brian, you saved the day. He's a hero. God bless that man. The Irish come through at the last second. You can count on the Irish. But not gingers. No, sorry. I didn't mean any of that. All right. Entrepreneurs who don't have a European. Yeah, man. So look, it's about people, right? I was in Africa. I met a lady. Her name was Bahira. And Bahira had a store on Instagram, right? And she made women's clothing. And it was beautiful clothing. And she sold it mostly to women outside of Africa, American and like European African women. And I asked her, how do you get paid? Where's your shopping cart? She didn't have one. It was just her Instagram. And whoever wanted it would message her on Instagram. And she'd say, okay, great, send the money to this bank account. It would be her friend's bank account who now lives in New York, but they grew up together. So because she has this magical friend that can accept payments for her, she now has access to all the people in the West that can go through the banking network. He's given her access to that payment method, and that's a huge boost for her business. But if she did not have that magical friend, she would not be able to do that. What Paxful does is we give everyone, anywhere in the world, literally an army of those magical friends thanks to our peer-to-peer network. And that's powerful.
Yeah, so it means if you want to accept credit cards, you need to have Western bank account and Western company if you want to accept from Stripe, Braintree, PayPal, which costs you $2,000-$3,000. But these entrepreneurs, they do not have this kind of money. That's why they cannot accept credit cards from Western people. Therefore, Bitcoin is here to help.
Exactly.
So, next example. We touched it. It's about the payments, but it's between the person to person. When you want to remit money from your family back to your country, Western Union is again, you have to stand in the lines. You have to pay the currency fees. For example, the fee in the national currency in Argentina, the official rate is 20% lower than the actual rate on the market. And that's even worse. That's why, on Paxful you can agree on the actual rate what you're gonna pay. Okay, so another one. We went too fast, but yeah, we already.
Wealth preservation.
Yeah.
Right?
So wealth preservation is really useful when your national currency in Venezuela is going, 10,000, 1 million% inflation. You hold your money in Bitcoin or in stable coins. That's even better, because what we see, people in Latin America, when they do their Bitcoin trading on local Bitcoins on Paxful, they don't really care about Bitcoin itself. They just want to hold a stable currency, which is a USD wallet. That's what they care about, which is like USDT, right? So they buy Bitcoin, $100. They don't want it to be tomorrow $90, $110. They just want it to be stable $100 so they can send it further. And actually, all our users, they're not about Bitcoin itself. They're about stable currency, that they buy Bitcoin and they use it right away for something, for all these use cases. So they buy $100, they send this $100 further. That's what it is.
Yeah, we did a university tour in Africa, in Kenya, and South Africa, 8 different universities. We went to each school, we spoke, gave workshops, we educated them about what Bitcoin was. We gave away 1 Bitcoin in each school, evenly distributed amongst the students, not 1 Bitcoin to each student. We're not rolling like that.
$15.
That's what it came out to?
Some of the guys, they made multiple accounts, so they got more.
I would love to tell you this story, but my man here just gave the signal for 1. And at that moment, that's it, the curtain closes. So.
Thank you very much.
One more slide.
There's one more slide.
One more is the most important
This
case.
is the most important. This is what my whole life has been built on, has led me to this moment. I must share this with you guys. Built with Bitcoin. Our mission is to build 100 schools across Africa and the emerging world. And these are not just schools. So there's 2 schools that are already built in Rwanda for about 400 students. And it's a little campus, actually. It's about 5 water wells, water treatment facilities, a full water distribution station. It's 3 school buildings for children from baby all the way up to 13. That's why they count it as 2 schools, because those are 2 separate school types in Africa. It's a clinic that we've built in there now. It's solar power, and it's education. We're educating the educators. This is what we're calling Built with Bitcoin. And we're building school number 3 right now in Kenya. So the 100th school, I'm going to pull some Professor Xavier type stuff because Wakanda shouldn't just be a concept in a movie. Africa is going to experience over 60% of the world's population growth in the next 30 years. They have the youngest population in the world. They have the most mobilely connected population on the planet. They have jumped over the banks and gone straight to online banking from the jump. Jack Dorsey, just last year, he went there and he tweeted, he said, Africa is going to define the crypto future. We've been in Africa for about 3.5 years, and we saw it the moment we went there. This is where crypto is going to take hold. Africa will become the crypto continent. And the beautiful thing is, most of it will be invisible. And this is where the real magic is. Can't wait to talk to you guys. Have a drink. Thank you so much for allowing us to come here. There's some brilliant people here. You guys look awesome.
Thank you for the promo for the bar.
Yeah, man.